Welcome to the show, All Things Writing. I am your host, Brian the Writer. Let me take you on a journey through my writing life and introduce you to some of the amazing talent that exists in the writing world. Whether you are looking for a little advice or just to catch an interesting interview, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. All Things Writing starts now. Good afternoon, my friends and neighbors and countrymen. Welcome to All Things Writing. I'm your host, Brian the Writer. You have found your way onto the coolest little video podcast around. I think it's cool anyway. Some of you think it's cool, and I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate the well wishes, the comments, and everything else. They're kind of awesome. They sort of make my day. I love watching the number of views go up on the videos. So please remember to tell your friends and neighbors and countrymen. Let them know that you found something really, really cool, and you want to show it off to them. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of important. Today, let's see. What is the weather like today in Northern Virginia? It's getting a little cold, actually, but it is wintertime. It is January, and we tend to get colder around here, and the weather tends to get miserable. January. This thing I love about Virginia is January and February tends to get a little bit cold, and then it warms up, and then we climb our way into spring, and it's nice again. We don't have too many months around here that are actually all that cold. Definitely a big change from life back in Chicago, where I grew up, and then Minnesota, where I spent a good majority of my time as a teenager and young adult. Today, I want to talk to you about a subject. Like I said, it's kind of near and dear to my heart. It's the topic of reviews, writing reviews. I feel like I say all the time to anybody who buys the book, reads the book, contacts me about any of my books. Hey, Brian, we really loved it. Great. Put that love in a review if you would. Now, the reason this came to me is recently, and I'll throw it up here on the screen for you guys really quick. The app got this amazing review, and I really, really appreciate getting a review like that. I mean, look at that thing. It's here. I'll make it bigger for you. It's absolutely an amazing thing to look at, and I appreciate it. I always appreciate reviews. The reviews hurt me. They get me right here. They get me right here. They give me all the feels, as they were. Speaking of feels, I know I've been going on about it quite a bit, but it's really been an interesting experience. I discovered this magic mind drink, and they created sort of this super drink for those of us out there in the world who work hard every day and then work hard in the afternoon, and we can start by the end of the day kind of going like this. And yes, I could have a cup of coffee, and yes, I could do a sports drink, but I don't want to. The reason I don't want to do that is because those kinds of things tend to have like harsh chemicals in them and things that don't come in nature. Yes, coffee's great, but I love coffee in the morning. I don't love it in the afternoons. In the afternoon is when that little meter starts to go down and down and down and down. My tank starts to run a little dry. So I found this amazing stuff. I want to put on my glasses because there's a code here I want to read out for you. It's wonderful. And seeing as how well it worked for me, I want to just share it with everybody. Oh, here actually, here. This one ready to go. Actually, this one has to go in the fridge because I don't know why this is sitting. It's probably sitting out here so that I can show you guys. But in the fridge, they're a little bit better tasting, I think, but by and large, they're pretty good. They're kind of green tea tasting. It's like citrus flavor to them. Very, very nice. But it has all kinds of healthy ingredients in it. Things. Oh, I'm dropping it. See? Wow, look at it. It's so full of energy. It jumped out of my hands, right? It's got wonderful things inside of it. It's excellent. It will get you going. I actually printed off here just so that I had it in front of me. It's got matcha. Matcha's cool. It contains way less caffeine than coffee, so it's not going to overwhelm you and make you go, I feel like I'm fizzing out. I feel like I'm on fire. It has ashwagandha. It has Court, and I'm going to mispronounce this, so I'm sorry. It's in those of you who are like health nuts are going to say, "Boy, did you screw that up." It's cordyceps mushrooms. It reduces inflammation. Something me as fibromyalgia. It's a really big deal for me. I always want to reduce any inflammation wherever I can. Um, it's different. Try it. It makes it's a total game changer for me in the afternoons. Little pep in my step to keep me going, keeps me going through the end of the day, but not so much caffeine that I'm gonna lay awake in bed and being able to sleep. So, Magic Mind, I recommend it. It's worth a go, worth trying out. And actually, if you want to try it out, here's something you can do. Go to magicmind.com/Jan, Jan, all things. And for the month of January, so the end of January, you're going to get 1 month free when you subscribe to 3 months. Okay. So that's a great thing for you. Now, there's also a discount code that you can use, and I'll put it up here on the screen. All things 20. Okay. That gets you an extra 20% off, which is great, right? But here's the cool part. That code will actually last for, forever. It's a forever code, okay? It's not going to go away. So you can get 20% off of your order of Magic Mind after January. But if you really want to get like that 75 total percent off, go to magicmind.com/Jan all things and use the code all things 20. You can't do better. You gotta sign up. You sign up for the subscription, and there you go, and not be tired in the afternoon. Okay, so reviews. And every writer will tell you the same thing, okay? Reviews are critically important to the writing world, especially for us indies, because we don't, I don't personally. I do know there are some people that, my hair is getting long. I think I need a haircut. Haircut and a little beard trim. Anyway, I'm getting a little fuzzy. That's why I can see myself in the little picture-in-picture thing. I'm like, I gotta go out and go see my haircut people. Yes, I pay money to get a haircut. You make fun of me if you want. Where was I? Oh yeah, reviews. For indie publishers, independent writers. Now we use the term indie publisher. That's because I own the ISBN number, so I am technically the publisher of my own books. When I go that route, that review that you write as somebody who has read my book does make a gigantic difference. Now, the reason I say it makes a gigantic difference is because, I don't run around paying for reviews. Yes, there are companies out there that if you pay a fee, they will write a review for you. I'm against this. The reason I'm against this is because there is no sort of objectivity there at all. You are paying somebody to say good things about you. I won't do that. I want a review to be completely free of any financial obligation whatsoever. Now, I have in the past, and this is a little bit different. I have in the past actually had reviewers that reviewed me, independent of me paying for them, that their website also asked for donations to support their website. I do that. I do donate to their cause, generally speaking, because not because I'm expecting a good review out of it or any good reviews in the future. What I am doing is I'm trying to keep them going because I know what it costs. Websites are expensive. I just paid for mine. It was $223 for a year or something like that. It's expensive to keep a website running. It's expensive to keep a small business running. So it's worth a little bit of extra money, a little financial shot in the arm to keep it going. To me, it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do in that instance. But back to reviews. Now, Brian the writer is always going to tell you, listen, there are 3 types of reviews that you can write. Reviews should not take you more than anywhere from 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. And you can do like on the far end, I mean, it can take you a day to write a review. But I mean, that's if you really, really get into it. Normally, what I do is sort of a middle ground thing. Now the easiest one to do is the one I'm going to put up on the screen right now. You will notice it did not take me more than a few seconds to write that review. Okay, I literally just typed that up, and then boom, there it was. Um, I think I think that review format is the easiest thing to do. And when we say as writers, listen, it doesn't take much time to write a review. That's what we're talking about. Um, a few, stars, however many stars, and then you just say, we liked this book because it was fun. Good book, good author. I don't care. Just a few words to make it worthwhile. And boom, you've written a review. Congratulations, you're a reviewer. Um, when I was a kid, we would watch Siskel and Ebert at the movies. But you have written a review, like a review that carries the same amount of weight as a professional review out there that I've paid money for. Uh, really, that's what you've done for me. That is the most basic kind of review that you can write. Now, let me throw up another type of review here. Okay, this is the review. It's a little bit more complex. Okay, I have told you I like it. Okay, in the first example, so the stars and the text saying I like this book. Okay, I told you I like the book. So this example here, I like the book. This is why I like the book. It doesn't have to be anything more substantial than that, because at the end of the day, you're actually still doing more than about, oh, I don't know, I'd say 80% of the people who read the books out there anyway. Most people don't leave reviews. And if you've seen me at a show and you've come up to my table and you said these words, understand that I know you're lying to me when you say, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely write a review." Most of you won't. It's not your fault. It is definitely not your fault, because I'll tell you what happens with life. We buy books, we bring them home, we read them, and life gets in the way. Baby needs changing, dinner needs making, car needs repairs, we got to go to work. These are things that all happen to us, which sideline us. So if I'm not picking on you if I say you don't write a review, you understand these things happen. Now, with the apps on our phones, you ought to be able to find a few minutes to carve off to go ahead and write a review, a simple review. The longer one takes a little bit more time, or that middle road one takes a little bit more time. I tend to write something that's a little bit longer than what I'm giving as your middle of the road one here, middle of the road example, and the super long one where it's paragraph after paragraph of detail and why you like it and then stuff like that. The reason I do that is because I know the authors put their heart and soul into it. I typically do want to find, so I'll write up in the longer ones. I'll write up what I liked, how I thought the characters were written. I will write something about the scene, the world building that went on there. I will write something about the technical prowess of the finished product, because we're judged. We are judged. Now, not every book is expected to be 100% flawless. To be honest, you could be Stephen King, write a book. It can go through editors and publishers and everyone else, and it still has a mistake in it somewhere. When you're talking about 100,000 words, if there's an error in it somewhere, well, okay, that's forgivable. Serious mistakes. That might be something you want to mention if you actually like the story. Well, let's get to that in a minute. So let's talk about the longer review, okay? Longer reviews, it's difficult to say what a long review truly is because here's the dealio. You can write a review that is page after page after page long, or you can make it nice and short, and still really detailed. I tend to not read long reviews. As a matter of fact, anything over a page, I'm likely not going to read it. I say that on Facebook too. If you're posting something that is longer than the posting window, I'm not going to read it. Um, that's the fact of the matter. Most of our attention spans these days are fairly short. Uh, with the amount of information we're ingesting on a continual basis tends to be a little bit too much to read things that are pages and pages and pages long for a review. Books are a different story. We read books for that diversion, and yes, that's 100,000 words. Reviews, on the other hand, don't make them that long. I'll tell you not to make them that long. Okay, so what are the things that get nitpicky about in a book? If you put 20 readers in a room and you ask them questions, I'll bet you get 40 different opinions about this topic. I tend to not say anything about technical problems unless it's like something nobody in their right mind should have missed, because I'm actually pretty forgiving of a lot of that stuff, especially if I like the story. The first book I ever wrote is a book called No Name, and I'll tell you, it's technically, from a technical standpoint, sort of a mess, but I'll stand by the story any given day. It was a good story. I rewrote my first book, some of you know, The Dramatic Dead. By the way, if you did not take advantage of that free offer, I'll put it up right here somewhere. Yeah. Scan that QR code, download a free copy of my book. It's free forever. Go out and get it. Read it. You'll love it. I will say that I rewrote that book. There was a technical problem or two in there, but like something grammatically that shouldn't have been. But there was also one thing. There was like a whole chapter in there that I didn't really like. It was one of those things that I was okay with at the time, but as I got older and a little bit more experienced, I went back and read it, and I didn't cringe so much as I went, I don't even like that in there. I don't know what I was doing when I was writing that, so let's get rid of it and rewrite sections. That's what I did. And it turned out very, very well. Had it re-edited by a different editor. Turned out very, very well. Happy with it. Happy with the cover. Looks good. I'm going to turn all those three because the Nameless Dead is actually coming out very, very soon in audiobook format. Or it's coming out very, very soon, not in audiobook format, but it'll come out in February. February 14th is the scheduled release date. Yeah, it'll be exciting. I'm going to start pushing that really, really hard these next few weeks. It's available for pre-order, by the way, on Amazon. So technical issues is something that you could key on if they're very, very distracting in a review. I would also be writing a book takes a year. It takes blood, sweat, tears. It's a very difficult process. If you have never written a book, I will tell you, be careful with your criticisms. Writing a book is even with any kind of supportive technology you want to throw at me, it's still a lot of work. And have a little grace and decorum when you write reviews. If your idea is to write a review that only exists to snipe at the author, don't write it. That's just mean-spirited and bad. Plus, by the way, if the author reports you to Amazon for being snipey and not writing a good review, Amazon will actually remove it. I know this. So something to keep in mind when you're writing. Remember, There's a lot of work behind any book that you see that was written, or at least there should be. There are some books out there. Anyway, I won't snipe myself. So remember, writing a review does not have to be all that hard. It doesn't have to take longer than a couple of minutes after you've written the book. Now, remember, this is All Things Writing. Please subscribe to the channel, share it with your friends. I really, really, really want more people to find their way here so that they can enjoy the show as well. And do me a favor. I want you to run over to this website right now, HTTP, well, we don't even have to say that anymore. I remember when we used to have to say that. magicmind.com/Jan All Things. And for the next month, I'm going to get you 1 month free when you subscribe to 3 months worth of Magic Mind, this delicious little stuff. Enjoy the health benefits. Enjoy the little afternoon jolt it can give you to keep you running. And it's a health. I mean, it's a health super drink. Is really, really what it is. It really, really is very, very good. Use the code AllThings20, and you're going to get a little bit extra off. And after January, that code will still work. It'll work forever. So, AllThings20. Feel free to use it. All right. That's it for All Things Writing. Remember to tell your friends and neighbors. I really, really appreciate it. Very, very soon, I am going to have another author interview coming up because I was going to actually have it this week, but what happened was the author got sick. No big deal. These things happen. So we're going to just wait a week and then record, and it's going to be magnificent. I'm actually in the middle of listening to his book right now. Very, very good. Scott Ellis, by the way, who did who does the audio work for me when I get my audiobooks done. They're the ones that did the recording. So, okay. Thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful day. This is Brian from All Things Writing, signing out. This has been another amazing episode of All Things Writing. If you heard something that got your wheels spinning, check out the links in the show notes. Also, please follow the show and remember to leave those reviews. Those simple acts of kindness mean the world to us. Hop on over to briannowak.com, and that is Brian with a Y, and check out my latest novels. I'm on Amazon or wherever you buy your ebooks. And as a reminder, the music you heard on the show today was used under license from the artist Ryan Encona. Thanks for listening to the show and have a blessed day.